What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Brighter Community. It's your boy Speech, and today I want to talk about why most people are afraid to take action. So the reason this video is extra special to me personally is because I was talking to my sister about a couple of things, and I was just thinking about this particular thing as to why she probably hasn't done the things that she's been trying to do in life. And I thought about it. I used to be this way, and most people I talk to is this exact same way. The reason you're not doing the things that you've been thinking about doing, possibly for many, many years, is fear of the unknown. We don't avoid doing things because we can't do it. We avoid things because we don't know what's gonna happen. It's about learning to be comfortable with what's uncomfortable in order to grow. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable, otherwise you'll become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that whole concept kind of sounds confusing, maybe backwards. And even my sister was kind of confused. So I'm gonna try to kind of repeat the things that I explained to her. So let me kind of break it down. So I'll give you an example. Most people out here are living paycheck to paycheck. You're uncomfortable, but you stay in it because certainty feels better than the unknown. So people complain about bills, not being able to get food on time, or the lack of vacations, not being able to go on vacations, yet they stay in that same 9-to-5 job. When you ask them about risking it or trying something different or following their dreams, they're like, no, I don't want to do that. And it's because they're comfortable in this little uncomfortable situation, right? Because anything outside of this known environment, it's too uncomfortable to discover. But if you get a little bit okay with discomfort, you're more likely to take smaller risks that can aid in your growth. So knowledge and experience reduces fear. And no matter what it is, fear is going to reduce with the more knowledge and confidence that you have. And of course, you gain confidence in something through experience and knowledge. So for instance, there's a lot of things that some people are terrified of that other people look at as adorable, loving, and the most unthreatening thing in the world. A quick example, you can have a little girl whose dad is a hardcore gangster, thug, whatever, and they can be, the most intimidating guy in the streets. They could have went to prison, they could have this reputation, but when they go home to their daughter, the daughter just sees daddy. Hey daddy, this and that. Like, they see this big old teddy bear, so it's like, because they know this man on a different level. So here's a personal example of mine. I owned a Rottweiler, and he was about 9 months old when my brother first met him. Now, to me and to other people who have owned Rottweilers and similar big dogs, that at 9 months, they're not their full size yet, and they're still a baby. They're still a puppy. So when I had my 9-month-old Rottweiler, I'm looking at him like, when is he gonna get big? Like, he's still this little bitty puppy. Like, nobody's gonna be afraid of this guy. Like, he's small. Like, he's this little bitty thing. And I remember when my brother came over and finally seen him for the first time, him and his friend both like kind of jumped back, like, whoa, keep the dog away from me. And I thought it was the funniest thing, because I'm like, you scared of this little punk? Like, this dog a punk right now. And obviously he can still do some damage, but to me, he was this small little puppy. And that's because I know him. So I didn't fear my Rottweiler whatsoever, but my brother and his friend jumped back. And if they knew him the way that I knew him, they would know that my Rottweiler isn't threatening at all. Like, he's this little bitty, full of energy puppy who's silly and goofy, and he will protect me by any means necessary to the best of his ability, but he's a little bitty puppy. He's not gonna do anything. But that just goes to show that the more knowledge you have about something, the less frightening it is. And take that on a larger scale. So back to regular things in life. To master anything, you must first accept being uncomfortable. Because each time you face discomfort, your knowledge and experience grows. And with knowledge and experience, you also gain confidence. And over time, your discomfort not only turns to confidence, but it turns to comfort, and then from comfort into mastery. Think back to a time in high school where maybe you joined a sport you never played, or a band you never been in, or you've done something you've never experienced before. First you get into it, you're kind of nervous, it's uncomfortable, you don't know people, it's not familiar faces, familiar instruments, familiar sports, nothing's familiar. But then you learn more. You're in class for a while, you're learning this new thing, you start to get more comfortable, you're being friendly, and then eventually you're gonna master that said thing because you have so much knowledge and experience in it or on it. And that goes with everything in life. Once you do it enough times and you get that experience out the way, you get that discomfort out the way, you become comfortable in that. But again, you can only do that if you are comfortable or okay with being uncomfortable. And then that uncomfortable thing becomes comfortable. And then the cycle repeats itself. And that's how you become great at anything. And of course, you don't have to take that with just, like a sport or stuff like that, but take that in life, take that in business, take that in following your dreams. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be an actor, a singer, a musician, a producer, a YouTube, whatever it is that you want to do, the reason you haven't done it yet is the fear of the unknown. But be comfortable, be okay with getting uncomfortable and just start that thing. People repeat it all the time, just start, just start. But in order to just start, sometimes you got to understand why you can't just start. And the reason you can't is because it's too uncomfortable for you. But if you stay again in your comfort, you stay in your little box, you're going to be uncomfortable and complain the rest of your life. But when you get comfortable opening up, you get okay with being in these uncomfortable positions, you're opening up your life to experience other things and grow and further your education, further your knowledge, further your dreams and goals and aspirations in life. And that is why it's important to just start, because you're breaking that fear. Because anything that you've ever feared in life, more than likely, there's a safe way to do it. There's a safe way to go about it, but you have to first start it. The fear of the unknown is the only thing holding you back. Because once you know it, you wouldn't be held back. If you knew today that you can wake up tomorrow and do XYZ efficiently to get $1 million, you would do it. But the only reason you didn't do it is because you don't know. The fear of the unknown is holding you back. In order to succeed, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable long enough to gain the knowledge and experience that makes you confident and comfortable. Think about the biggest fear you have and ask yourself, what don't I know about this thing? Because once you know more, the fear loses its power. I'll give you one more quick example before I let you go. So I told you on the business end of things, let's say starting YouTube, you may be, actually I didn't really go into it, but let's just say, so I'll do 2 more examples. If you're trying to start YouTube and you're like, well, I don't know, people might judge me. People might leave mean comments. Nobody's going to watch my videos. Nobody's going to do this. They might say I'm ugly. They might talk about me. Well, learn YouTube more. Understand that it's not the case. Understand that that's more than likely is not going to happen. And just put it out anyway and stop caring about what other people think. You're not going to fear you. And then you'd be like, okay, well, what if my audio isn't good enough? What if my visuals aren't good enough? What if my editing style isn't good enough? Well, you don't know how to edit. You don't know how to record. You don't know anything about lighting. You don't know anything about recording a video. So you have to first be comfortable with that uncomfortable stage. And then you'll be like, okay, it's actually not that bad. Okay, someone left a mean comment, but it's not too harsh. And again, it's not for everybody, but if it's something you have a passion for and you've been thinking about forever, learn it, experience it. Stop being afraid of the uncomfortability and be okay with being uncomfortable. And then for actual practical fear, a lot of people I talk to in my family, they're afraid of, I have a debate, like which scarier, spiders or snakes? And a lot of people in my family, like my mom and siblings, they say spiders are scarier than snakes. And let me know in the comment section below, which one's scarier to y'all? I'm not afraid of spiders at all. I don't like them, they give me the creeps. But it's just bugs in general, like the little bugs. If I'm looking at them too long and stuff, it creeps me out. But I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of snakes. I hate snakes. But then I asked myself, even the conversation was having, I'm thinking, well, I'm not afraid of spiders because I understand spiders. I'm like, number one, spiders are more afraid of us than we are of them. So they're more likely going to run. The only way they're going to bite you is if you go to grab them or you put your hand on them or you freak them out while they're crawling on you and they bite you or something. Other than that, more than likely, they're going to run from you way before you ran from them. So it's like they're easy. I could easily kill them. I know about how fast they move. Like, yeah, they could be fast, but most of the time they're only faster than you because you're hesitating. And it's like, I know that most spiders, at least that I've come across and stuff, like they're not gonna just be able to kill you, stuff like that. You can easily handle them. Once you smack them, they die. Like, they die easy. I don't know the most about spiders, but the little that I do know, I'm not really scared of them. I'm not afraid of them. Is snakes, on the other hand, I know little to nothing about snakes, but they look creepy. They sound creepy. They're huge. I don't know how they get in the house. If they got in the house, I don't know. Like, they're just so scary to me. They slither with their tongue. They slither on the ground. It's creepy. Okay, they're big. I know some are venomous to where they bite you, kill you in a few minutes. I know some of you spider people out there, probably if you watch this video this long, you'd be like, well, shoot, spiders could kill you too. Snakes are more likely to kill you, in my opinion. I don't know who has the most deaths, but I can bet snakes do. You chop their tail off, they're still moving. You chop their head off, they're still moving because they're nerve, and like, it's just everything about them is creepy. I know they can do a turn, but on the flip side, people who know so much about snakes, the reason they don't fear them is because they know, okay, if I hold by the tail at this angle, at this height, and hold them in the air, that they're less likely to be able to turn around and bite you. They know how to use that little stick thing. So again, they got comfortable with being uncomfortable, and they learned about them. They handle snakes before. They do these things. Maybe they grew up with them, but the fact of the matter is they know how to handle them. I don't know how to handle a snake at all without getting bit. So in my head, all snakes, unless it's a green, the little garden snake or whatever, which I'm still uncomfortable with, because what if that's not the right green or something? I don't know how to handle them. So because I know more about spiders and how to kill them and handle them, but the point of the matter is, man, we fear the unknown, and you're always going to be unknown if you're too comfortable with not discovering other things. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Don't remain in your discomfort and complaining for the rest of your life if you want your life to change. Be okay with being uncomfortable for a short period of time, especially if you're young and you don't have to worry about, you know, kids and this and that when it comes to career, like, you know, starting businesses, losing businesses. You have to be able to risk things. If, again, you don't have a lot of responsibility, if you do like side quests, you know, side hustles and stuff like that. But anyway, man, with that being said, if you stay to the end of the video, you already are a part of a brighter community. I'm your boy Speech. I love y'all so much. Hit that like switch and leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. I talked way too much in this video, but anyway, I was passionate about it. It was something fun to kind of think about and explain to my sister. With that being said, man, I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.